Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's talk about Ready to Love. I thought the episode was not that good. I feel like it's definitely been off to a slow start. But yeah, I will just talk about some of the things that really stood out to me during this episode. I think the first person I want to talk about is Corley. Corley annoyed me the whole time, and I'll tell you why. As a grown ass woman, why are you constantly saying all you care about is a man's height? All you want is that he's tall. Okay, fine. I understand wanting a tall man. I want a tall man too. But saying that that is the only thing that you care about, tall, tall, tall. And she kept like just going on about the guy that was 6'7" just because he's tall. The other thing that really annoys me about her was she was given the impression she has no substance to her, that all there is to her is that she's pretty. But that's the thing, it's all nice to be pretty and whatnot, but then you need a lot more than just being pretty to actually make it in a relationship, especially if you're trying to actually find a sensible man on this show. So it's like, girl, give us something else. The other person I really want to talk about is Tay. I absolutely love how Tay came in. She owned the room. She was so sweet. I feel like Tay and Rose, they have really, really good personalities, and I hope they make it until the very end, because I love when people have great energy. They come in, they're able to make people feel comfortable. They're also able to work the room. So I really enjoyed watching them, and they both looked really stunning. So shout out to them. They looked really good. Now, I do want to talk about Miss Shanice. Shanice, and this is coming from someone who believes in multiple sources of income and who has multiple sources of income, mama. If someone asks you about work, there is no need for you to list all of the things that you own. There is no need for you to be like, yes, and I'm a celebrity stylist and I'm a this and I'm a that. For instance, when people ask me who I am, I may either say I'm a business owner, or I just say like I just talk about like my job in tech, and that's pretty much it. And then maybe when they get to know me, then they're like, oh, you have a business as well. And then I talk about that. Now, if I was coming on a show on Ready to Love, and I'm trying to big up my company, then I may say I'm a business owner and I have a few different businesses and give examples, and that would have been the end of it. I will not be constantly talking about my work. You're not here to plug your work. You're here for love. At least that's what we hope. You're not here to tell me that you used to be a stylist. You're no longer a celebrity stylist according to you. So who cares? Why do you have to announce that? And the men also picked up on it. They were like, all she kept talking about was work all the time. Like, yes, you're passionate about work and it's good to be passionate about work, but at the same time, work cannot take over your life and your personality. Your work should never be your personality. It is not cute. It's not exciting. There is nothing to that. Does that then mean every time you go on a date, all you will be talking about is work? No, you should be able to let your hair down and have fun. That's what you're there for, not to constantly be trying to plug your work. So I really did not like that at all. I just didn't think it was the time or place. There's a way to say it without being so stern. Relax. You are in a relaxed environment, chill. Now, that's not to say I do understand that it can be nerve-wracking because you are on TV and not everyone is comfortable being on TV. People can be anxious and then they may come across a little bit standoffish. So I do hope to see a little bit more personality and less of the work side of her. Now, I want to talk about Tay and Cisco for a minute. Now, Cisco is a good-looking man. He has that salt and pepper look. He's a very good-looking man, and I get it. But I feel like Tay is getting heads over heels for a man. Don't get me wrong, he's good looking, he's attractive, all of that. I get it. But when he talked about his last relationship and how it ended because of insecurities, my first thought is, did he cheat on this woman? Because the thing about it is, men like to say things like, oh, she was insecure, but what did you do to reassure her that there was nothing going on? Was it you? Were you the cause of that discomfort and her thinking that you're doing something shady because you cheated before? And 9 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10 times, when a man is talking about she was insecure, she was this, if you ask more questions, you realize that he has actually cheated on her in the past. And I think that's what happened here, because Cisco then admitted that he had cheated in the past. And I saw Tay's face immediately look like, ooh. And he then tried to clean it up and said to her, I noticed your energy shifted a little. And then he tried to clean it up and say he was young then, he didn't know how to be in a relationship, but now he's a grown-ass man and all of that kind of stuff. And he doesn't want her to hold it against him. Then I saw her energy change and she was like trying to reassure him that she's not holding it against him. Girl, you are allowed to hold it against him. You left your last relationship because he cheated. You need to mentally think this man has cheated before. Now, I'm not saying once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't believe that. I believe people can actually grow. However, that is a flag that you need to be watching, that you need to monitor. And also, if he had truly changed, the way he would have communicated, leaving that relationship would have been different. He would not have put it on her that she was being insecure. He would have said, I made some mistakes in the past, I had cheated, and then of course that then made the relationship untenable. I'd stopped it, I'd repented, I had changed, but then she was still holding on to the past, so we had to separate. That is someone that has learned his lesson and knows how to communicate. And then you can then say stuff like, oh yeah, it was in the past, I've matured since then, all that kind of stuff, and I've done the work to ensure it doesn't happen again. But if you're leading and making it seem like she had no reason to be insecure, then you later admit that you have cheated before. That means you are still not a transparent person. And that means I don't really believe you. You're still a little bit shady. So if it's not cheating, then you're still not going to be transparent, in my opinion. So if I were you, Tay, I would listen and take a mental note. Watch that man. Just because you think he's sexy doesn't mean that you should lose all of your sense. Remember what he told you. Don't forget it. And the other thing I really want to talk about is when Tommy evicted Will. Now, I feel like it is kind of sad and it is a bit mean to then expose that Will was also evicted or was not liked by the previous group, and now the second group is saying this. I don't know. I felt like maybe it could have been worded differently. I don't think that would do anything for his self-esteem. Now, I will say Will, women love funny men, but women also like a funny man that knows when to be serious. You are on a platform like this. You should be interacting, building that rapport with the person first before you then start interjecting with some jokes, right? You shouldn't turn into a clown at the first conversation and the whole conversation is clownish. No, have a conversation. We are trying to see if we're a good fit for each other. So I need to see that you have range. You're funny, but you're also serious when it is necessary. There is nothing as childish as dating a man that is funny all the time, does not know when to turn it off, and when you're trying to have serious conversations, tries to turn it into a joke. And I feel like that's the exact example of who Will is. Now, that could be because he's anxious, he's on TV, or that could be that's exactly who he is. Whatever the case may be, he needs to figure out. Nobody is saying that you shouldn't be funny, but you are now coming across as obnoxious in the way in which you are laughing, making all these jokes that ain't even that funny. It's just weird. And if I were in the lineup too, I wouldn't choose Will as well, because I like people that have a range. They know when to be serious, they know when to be funny, they know when to kick back and enjoy themselves, not someone who has to be the class clown. Imagine we're out on a dinner date with a double date with friends and you're cracking everybody up and you're the clown all the time. No, I want us to be able to have like nice, great conversations. Yes, laughter is involved, but laughter is not the only thing involved during the dinner. So I just think that's exactly what people were seeing when it comes to Will as well. He also has that nervous energy I don't think anyone is really liking. Now, in the end, Collie was called out by Tommy. He basically told her they weren't feeling her. And of course, she just looks like, okay, then she's ready to go. So Tommy then gave her the opportunity to meet the next 8 singles. And I do think she needs to meet the other 8 singles. But my advice to her would be, girl, you need to have some substance. You cannot just say all you want is kind and tall. There has to be more to you than kind and tall. And don't question everyone the way you kept questioning the firefighter, asking if there is a pole there and how does he, like, it's too much. Most men like a little substance at least. Even if it's not a lot, at least some substance. But she just comes across like she doesn't have any. Now, if I wanted to give the episode a rating, I would say 6. Yeah, nothing more than 6. I wasn't very entertained. I actually, for the most part, forgot what happened. I had to like refresh my mind and refresh like, my memory about like what actually happened in the episode. Nothing was striking. The only person that I really, really liked was Tay. I liked her energy and I liked Rose's energy as well. Also, what was the Sahara? I do not like Sahara's energy at all. I do not like the idea of saying that, you were out here doing potions to make the people like you. Like, that's just weird and dark. And yeah, not a fan of that. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.